All right, so we have week 4 in the books, and Dan Campbell got the NFC North crown as the Detroit Lions move to 3-1 and Green Bay Packers move to 2-2 with a 34-20 victory. Now, the Detroit Lions, I will be reading the stats off my phone. Shout out to Bleacher Report. Now, Jared Goff was 19-28, 210 yards, a touchdown, a pick, and 2 sacks. His fantasy points was about 12.4. His quarterback rating was 86.9. Now, David Montgomery, shout out to David Montgomery. This was his first career victory against Green Bay in his career. And David Montgomery was the first running back by the Detroit Lions this season to rush for over 100 yards. He had 32 carries for 121 yards. He averaged 3.8 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. And he had a 32.1 fantasy point day. Jahmyr Gibbs, 8 attempts for 40 yards. And he had about 5.1 on the ground. And then also added with, if you do points per reception, he also had 4 receptions for 11 yards. So he had 51 yards and 4 catches. So Khalif Raymond did have 1 rush. It was for 40 yards. Now that rush came at a critical point. We definitely needed the first down, and it was in the first half, and it was on like a reverse. So it went one way, and then it got pitched back, and then went the other way, and went for 40 yards, and it was a big play. Got the crowd going, got the team going. So definitely needed that by Khalif. And then Jared Goff, he had basically 1 rush for 11 yards, but obviously the victory formation, he took the knee, so he went down to 10 yards. And then Josh Reynolds was actually our leading receiver. He had 3 receptions for 6 targets and 69 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5 for 7, 56 yards and a touchdown. Sam Laporta, 4 for 5 for 56 yards. And David Montgomery was 2 for 2 for 20 yards. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, like I said, 4 for 5 for 11 yards. Marvin Jones Jr. was targeted 1 time, and Khalif Raymond 1 for 1, but it was for -2 yards. Riley Patterson was 2 for 2 on his field goals, 4 for 4 on his extra points. And, Brian Branch, he was doing pretty doggone good, but he went down twice. Basically, it was the same injury, the ankle injury. And, they taped it up, x-rays, the whole 9 yards. And, he came back, and then he went down. And then that's where we just said, you know what? The last 6 minutes, you're not coming back. So we shut him down. Derek Barnes went down as well. He had a pretty good day. 6 tackles. 2 of them were solo. But he had a pretty solid performance. He also went down, but he was back, and, it was away he goes. It looked like it was possibly a cramp. Nothing too serious. Now, John Kaminsky got a sack, tackle for a loss, 3 solo tackles, 5 total tackles. Alex Anzalone was flying all over, had a pass deflect, 3 solo tackles, 5 total tackles, and Jerry Jacobs. I do not want to hear no more slander on Jerry Jacobs. He had 2 interceptions, 4 pass deflects, and 5 tackles. Every player is going to get burnt every now and again. But this man comes in clutch when you need clutch plays. Put some respect on Jerry Jacobs. Thank you. And Tracy Walker, he had 4 tackles, nearly interception again. Oh, it's so frustrating, but I love it. Because, it's like, is he going to get it? Oh, he did it. But, he's going to get one. He's going to get one. And that's all sometimes a player needs. Sometimes all the player needs is that first interception. Get that off your back, and, then you get abundance of it. Same thing with, I feel that with Jahmyr Gibbs. I think once Jahmyr Gibbs gets that first monkey off his back with the touchdown, I think he's going to get abundance of touchdowns. It's just a matter of when are you going to get it. Ife Melifonwu, being in the starting role, basically, I think he was pretty solid. He had 3 total tackles. 2 of them were solo. And then Will Harris came in, obviously with Brian Branch going down. He had 2 tackles. 2 of them were solo. He had a tackle for a loss. And then Aiden Hutchinson, a sack and a half, nearly another sack. Almost had 2 sacks on the day. Charles Harris got a half a sack. Ali McNeil got a sack. And then Isaiah Buggs with a monstrous sack. That was the first sack of the day. It was beautiful. Overall, great performance by the Detroit Lions. Now, the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love did throw 23 of 36 for 246 yards. So 246 for 23 out of 36 attempts. Had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He got sacked 5 times. 5 times Jordan Love got sacked. Aaron Jones in his return had 5 attempts for 18 yards. A.J. Dillon had 5 attempts for 11 yards. Jordan Love rushed twice for -2 yards. Romeo Doubs was their leading receiver, 9 of 13 for 95 yards. Reed was 3 for 5 for 55 yards. Samaje Toure was 1 for 1 for 35 yards. That pass by Samaje Toure should have never counted. The clock hit triple zeros to end the third quarter, but they let it go. It can't be reviewed. So it is what it is. Hey, I'll never complain. Yeah, does it suck that we get the penalties of the fluke ones, like the one on Aiden Hutchinson for hands to the face? Obviously. But I'm not gonna make a big deal. We're the Lions. We always got to fight the refs and the opponent. So it is what it is. DeGuara had 4 for 4 for 35 yards. Christian Watson with the lone touchdown. He was 2 for 4 for 25 yards. Kraft 2 for 2 for 5 yards. Musgrave did go down. He was 1 for 1 for 1 yard. And, Carlson was 2 for 2, long of 50 on the field goals. Nixon, we could not stop their kick returner, Nixon. He had 5 attempts for 116 yards. His long was, I don't think they say what his long was, but he averaged about 23.2 yards per touch. We got to do a better job at that. First and foremost, I want to say this. Thank you, Quay Walker. Quay Walker, it would have been 30-20, but because you want to jump over the offensive line, which is a penalty, you gave us an extra set of downs. It was an automatic first, half the distance to the goal, and yes, sir, Lions capped it off with the touchdown by Montgomery. And Quay Walker was actually their leading tackler. He had 19 tackles and a tackle for a loss. Wyatt had a sack. Brooks had a sack on Jared Goff. Tackle for a loss, like I said, Quay Walker. 2 of them by Wyatt. 1 by Rasul Douglas. Wooden had a tackle for a loss. Brooks had a tackle for a loss. 10 solo tackles by Quay Walker, 7 by Ford. Ford was the one who picked us off basically on the first drive. I think it was like second or third down. Pick Jared. It was third down. I think it was like 3rd and 7. Picked Jared Goff off. The play resulted in the first points of the game, which was 3-0 Packers. But that was Ford that did that. He also had a pass deflect. Brooks also had a pass deflect. Overall, Lions dominated. Let's keep it a buck. Time of possession 37 minutes, 58 seconds to 22 minutes and 2 seconds. Total yards 401 yards to 230. Passing yards was 190 to 203. Rushing yards, 211 to 27. 27 yards. Lions defense, stop the run. What do I always say in every single one of my streams? Run the football, stop the run, play sound defense, play disciplined football, and have the will to win. You stop the run. 27 yards. Beautiful job. First downs was 25 to 15 in favor of the Lions. Penalties. Detroit had 8 penalties. We got to clean that up. The Green Bay Packers only had 4. Green Bay had 2 turnovers. We only had 1. We had 5 sacks. They only had 2. 73 total plays by the Lions, 53 by the Packers. But overall, it was a complete domination. First half, it was 27 to 3 at the half. I mean, yeah, they're going to make it a comeback a little bit, make it interesting, but Lions dominated from start to finish. Beautiful job. I do want to see them, come out the second half with a big lead like that. And going back to that lead, 27 to 3. That was the first time since 1970, tied for the most points at 24 since the Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions in 1970. So that was pretty impressive. But again, I want to see us come out that second half up 24 and still apply more pressure. Make it hard for them. Come out, get a 3 and out. They had the ball to start They had the ball to start the second half. We got to 3 and out them, get the ball back, and score a touchdown. We do that, all their momentum in second half is gone. Now we play our game. So I would like to see that. We do get the Carolina Panthers come in 10 days against. They will be at Ford Field, so a little different story than last year. Hopefully we'll get that sour taste in the regular season out of our mouth. We did beat them the last week of preseason, but that's preseason. But with that being said, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on week 4. Do you like it? Do you love it? Come on, Lion fans. I already know what you're going to say. Y'all already going to love it. But what do you guys want to see? That's more a better question. What do you guys want to see? And sorry if I'm kind of like wheezing a little bit. I'm battling an upper respiratory infection and a sinus infection. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Y'all already know what to do. We're trying to grow this community. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Because grit don't quit. One pride, baby. Peace. Man. Kings of the North at 3-1. Let's keep that pressure going.